The first time it happened, Mara thought it was coincidence. She woke with a sharp intake of breath, heart hammering as if she had been running. The red digits of her alarm clock glowed beside her bed. Reading 3:17 a.m., she lay still, listening. The house was quiet in the way that felt unnatural, like the silence itself was holding its breath. No traffic outside, no hum of appliances, not even the usual creak of the old ceiling beams. Then she felt it, the certainty that she was not alone. Her eyes moved before her body dared to. Sliding toward the corner of her bedroom near the closet, something stood there, tall and thin, its outline barely darker than the surrounding shadows. It did not move, did not breathe, did not make a sound. Mara squeezed her eyes shut, telling herself it was a dream. She counted silently, 1 to 10, then 20, when she opened her eyes. Again, the corner was empty. The relief came so fast it made her dizzy. She laughed softly at herself, whispering how stupid she was. Sleep took her again within minutes. The second night, she woke at 3:17 a.m. This time she did not open her eyes right away. Her body already knew. The air felt heavier, colder, pressing. Down on her chest, the clock glowed red again, unchanged, merciless, 3:17 a.m. She opened her eyes. The figure was closer. It stood at the foot of her bed now. Its shape was wrong, too long in the arms, too narrow in the shoulders. Its head tilted slightly. As if studying her, Mara tried to scream, but her throat locked. Her limbs refused to move, pinned by an invisible weight. She could only stare, slowly, impossibly. The thing leaned forward. She could not see its face. Only a deeper darkness where features should have been. The smell reached her then. Damp earth and something sour, like rot hidden under flowers. The clock clicked softly. 3:18 a.m. The figure vanished, just gone, like it had never been there. Mara spent the rest of the night sitting upright with the lights on. She told herself it was sleep paralysis. Stress, imagination, but deep down, she knew something had changed. On the third night, she did not sleep at all. Yet at 3:17 a.m., her bedroom light flickered, and from the corner, a shadow stretched. By the fourth night, Mara had started documenting everything. She kept a notebook on her bedside table, writing down the time, the sensations, the details she wished she could forget. Every entry began the same way. 3:17 a.m. She tried sleeping on the couch, then the guest room, then even her car parked outside. The house, it did not matter, every night. Her eyes snapped open at the exact same minute, and every night it was there. Sometimes it stood in the corner, sometimes by the door. Once it was leaning over her, its unseen face inches from her own. She noticed new things. The air always smelled wrong before it appeared. The house seemed to shrink, walls feeling closer, tighter. Her ears rang with a low hum. Just below hearing, Mara stopped going to work. Her co-workers called, then stopped calling. Her phone battery drained overnight, even when turned off, always dying at 3:17 a.m. On the seventh night, the figure moved. She woke as usual, dread already curling in her stomach. The thing stood beside her bed. Then, slowly, it raised one arm. Its fingers were too many, bending the wrong way. It pointed toward the hallway, toward the stairs leading down into the dark. A voice entered her mind, not heard but felt, not yet. The next morning, Mara found footprints on her bedroom floor, bare, elongated, pressed deep into the wood as if made by something far heavier than it looked. They led to her bed, and nowhere else. She searched the internet obsessively, forums about shared nightmares, folklore, sleep disorders. One post stopped her cold. A user described waking every night at the same time, seeing a watcher, being invited to follow it. The final update was dated 3 years ago. It read, "Tonight I go downstairs." There were no replies after that. On the 10th night, Mara barricaded her door. She pushed her dresser, her chair, everything. She could move at 3:17 a.m. She woke anyway. The figures stood inside the room, the door untouched, the barricade intact. It tilted its head again, closer now than ever, not yet. It whispered inside her skull. Soon, Mara stopped fighting sleep. Exhaustion hollowed her out, leaving her numb and shaking. On the 12th night, she welcomed unconsciousness like surrender. She woke at 3:17 a.m. The figure stood at the doorway, waiting. This time, the paralysis did not come. Her fingers twitched, her toes moved. The thing stepped back into the hall, as if encouraging her. Not yet, it reminded her. But closer, Mara swung, her legs over the side of the bed. Her feet touched the cold floor. The house felt different at night now, stretched and unfamiliar. She followed it down the hallway, past family photos that no longer showed faces, down the stairs that seemed longer than they should have been. The front door stood open, revealing darkness beyond. Not the street, not the yard, something deeper, wider, endless. The figure turned to face her. For the first time, she saw its face. It was hers, hollow-eyed, smiling too wide, skin pulled tight. Like it did not belong. This is where you wake up. It said without sound. Mara screamed then, a raw, broken sound. She stumbled backward, falling hard. The world snapped apart. She woke in her bed, gasping. The clock read 3:18 a.m. For the first time in nearly 2 weeks, the room was empty. No smell, no pressure, no watcher. She cried until dawn. She believed it was over. She was wrong the next night. She woke at 3:17 a.m., but she was not in her bed. She stood at the top of the stairs, barefoot, heart racing. The front door opened below her. Darkness breathing softly, and behind her, something waited. Mara tried to turn around, but her body would not listen. The darkness below pulsed gently. Like a living thing, it felt patient, confident. The voice returned. Calmer now, closer, you are learning. She felt hands on her shoulders, guiding. The house faded as she stepped forward. Each stair vanished after she passed it, leaving nothing behind. Memories surfaced unbidden. Her childhood bedroom, her first nightmare, the feeling of being watched long before she had words for it. This had always been coming. At the bottom, the darkness opened, revealing a room that was not a room. Walls made of shadow, floors that reflected nothing. Figures stood everywhere, watching, waiting. All of them wore familiar faces. All of them had once woken at 3:17 a.m. The thing beside her leaned close. You will stand now, it said. Mara understood then. The watcher was not a visitor, it was a role. She screamed one last time as the darkness poured into her, filling her, hollowing her. When the clock on her nightstand flipped to 3:18 a.m. somewhere far away, a new figure appeared in a bedroom. It stood silently in the corner, waiting, and somewhere. Someone woke with a racing heart, staring at red glowing numbers, 3:17 a.m.